What do you look for in a morning skate? I noticed you like.
I've learned over the years, don't look for anything in the morning skate. When I first started skating, you want perfection, you want guys to show intensity. The morning skates are just for them to get themselves prepared, trigger a rhythm into the day. They are disappearing quickly. I think they were used back in the olden days for different reasons, but they're disappearing quickly, and we use common, easy flow drills so that they have a chance at success. They feel good about themselves. We usually sometimes we do a little D-zone stuff, and then we do some power play, penalty kill almost every day. And there may be a few unique things that we're trying to accomplish or work on in that situation, and then the whistle goes, they get off, and they got to be ready to play.
What's the mood of the group, Ted? I mean, you still sense, I don't know what you would call it, hope, optimism, or...
Well, we've used the word belief a lot since we got here, and we're realistic. We look at the standings, we know what's ahead of us, and we know what has to be done. And what can we control? We can control our input into the game tonight, and that's basically it. We can't control what other teams are doing. We can't count on Montreal to help us. And when you give up control, you're at the mercy of anything. Red Wings saw that last year more than anything. That just proved it. So, but the overall mood today, it's upbeat. We didn't skate yesterday. We flew all day. They had a chance to walk around in the sun and feel that can be therapeutic. But we're realists. But expectations don't change, in my opinion. We built up a belief system, and it's been tested a lot of times down the stretch here. It'll get tested again today and tomorrow, and we have to rely on that.
Todd, you've mentioned a couple times when you were coming to Detroit in December, you and Trent talked about some players on the flight, I think, from LA to Detroit. What was, when you looked at Tarasenko, what did you see there? What did you see as far as what he could be?
Well, in how do I put this? I guess in sitting from afar, when you're not involved, you watch games. But you watch the team as a whole. You watch how they operate, things they do. You're also watching a lot of other teams, so you're not singling in on anything. But Vladdy and Vladdy's role here, he came to us as a player we wanted to count on. Looking for offense, obviously, from him. Is he a 40-goal scorer? No, he's not a 40-goal scorer. But Vladdy knows that. But I know he's more than a 10-goal scorer, and we needed to get that out of him. So there's been some frustrating moments with Vladdy, but there's also been some good moments. And so that's. I don't know if I answered your question, because I'm talking more about since I've been here. Coming in, knew Vladdy from St. Louis. And Vladdy in St. Louis was that 42 goal scorer or whatever he was that year. And all of a sudden he's traded out of there. He goes to New York, he goes to Ottawa. We're out west. I'm not even sure if we played those teams last year when I was still in LA. So you kind of lose track of what he's done, and then you come here and then you try and rediscover it.
So why do you think, you said he's more than a 10-goal scorer, but that's what he is right now. Why do you think, and I'm going to say this from the outside looking in, I mean, that do you see have a turnover in Montreal? Sunday against the Panthers, he had a turnover and didn't turn into a goal against, but,
No, that's observant. If you're not scoring, you have to be good in those other areas. He and the other 18 guys that put the jersey on and skate have to contribute. If you're not scoring, you have to be real solid at the other end. Yeah, he had the turnover, it led to the second goal. We had a few others from some other players. So we expect more from him when he's not scoring as well.
What are you expecting out of the Panthers tonight? Obviously, probably a different looking group than you guys had faced them on Sunday.
Well, of course, they're going to have some of their big boys back into the lineup. The power play and penalty kill will look different, especially the power play. It'll have a little more pop to it and more familiarity to it. They're still battling, obviously, for position and getting ready for the playoffs. So expect a Stanley Cup champion type effort. I think if we're expecting anything else, shame on us.
And then Kane's impact on this group just down the stretch, his leadership on and off the ice. How important has his presence been for but just everyone as a whole?
Well, it's been good. So when Patty Kane's in the locker room, he's not banging a drum and jumping up and down. He's not the head cheerleader. So he's not driving the team that way, but his presence and the fact that he's gone through these situations a lot in the past certainly helps. He's been in this situation during the regular season as that Chicago team was evolving and they didn't quite get there. He's been in this situation during the playoffs where they go around and it didn't quite work. He's been in this situation where he had to win a Stanley Cup and seal out the deal. So he's got it from beginning to end. I would think guys like Casper and Soderblom and the youth that's just experiencing this for the first time are saying, hey, come with dinner with me. And I'm hoping they're quizzing him, asking him questions about what it felt like or what did Jonathan Taves do in this situation. That's where his value off the ice comes. On the ice, it's his presence, the way he makes plays, power play, the poise with the puck, the obvious parts.
Todd,